All right, fifth graders. So yesterday we watched some videos with same denominators and different denominators with adding and subtracting fractions. So today we are going to add and subtract fractions, but it's going to be with mixed numbers. So remember, mixed numbers are when you have a big whole number and then a fraction. So these are your steps. You get fractions with the same denominators, then you add the whole numbers and you add the fractions. So really it's the same thing we were doing yesterday, but now you are putting in that extra step. So let's look at this one right now. We have 3 and 2/4 plus 7 and 1/4. Think in your head right now, why do you get to add these right away with little or no work? You should say in your head right now, because the fractions have the same denominator. So we get to add our whole numbers, which we get a 3 plus a 7, which equals 10. We have 10 wholes, that means 10 full circles colored in. And then we have 2/4 plus 1/4, which gets us to 3/4. So our answer is 10 and 3/4. Let's look at our next one. We have 9 and 4/7 minus 3 and 2/7. Think in your head again, why do I just get to subtract these? Why don't I have extra work I have to do? You should say in your head, because my denominators are the same. Remember, things I repeat over and over, you're like sitting there thinking, Miss Medke, just be quiet. Well, it's something that you have to remember in your head. So because my 7s are the same, I get to subtract. My wholes are 9 minus 3, and I get 6. And 4/7 minus 2/7, I get 2/7. So I get an answer of 6 and 2/7. But all of them aren't going to be that easy. So let's look at another one. Here we have 4 and 2/6 plus 1 and 3/4. We know in our head a fourth and a sixth are not the same. So now we have to go back to what we did yesterday, and we have to look at the fact and say, oh, we have to multiply our denominators, 6 times 4 to get 24. This is my new denominator. I set up my multipliers over here where I have 2/6 times something is going to get me to something over 24, and 3/4 times something is going to get me to a number over 24. We know 6 times 4 is 24. We know our multipliers have to be the same. Same thing for the bottom. We know 4 times 6 is 24. We know 6 and 6 has to be the same because our multipliers have to be the same. After you figure that, remember, you know 2/6 is equal or equivalent to 8/24. So we have to make sure that those numbers are going together. So our new, right here, our new fraction we're going to solve is 4 and 8/24 plus 1 and 18/24. When I add those together, I get 5 and 26/24. Remember, when you are doing this, that if you have a number, your numerator is bigger than your denominator, we call that improper. So we have to make sure that we are fixing that, or leave it, it doesn't matter. But if you fix it, it turns into 6 and 2/24. All right, let's look at another one. When we are looking at this one, we have 7 and 5/9 minus 3 and 1/5. Again, you should say in your head, I can't subtract these right now because they have different denominators. 9 and 5 are different denominator pieces, different sizes. So here I have to multiply to get 45 as my new denominator. I need to set up my multipliers to get my new fractions, which now 45ths, both of mine are 45ths, and then I can subtract. Okay, we have another one to look at right now, and it is subtracting with regrouping. So this doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. So here we have 6 and 1/2 minus 2 and 4/6. When we look at that right now, we can find out our new denominator is 12, set up our multipliers, and I get a new fraction as 6 and 6/12 minus 2 and 8/12. But I know in my head 6 minus 8 gives me a negative number. So I have to regroup, and I have to make a new way to look at the number. So we know if we have the same number on top and bottom, 12/12, that actually equals 1 whole. So this 5 plus 12/12 really equals 6 together. And then we have our 6/12 of our fraction. When we put that together again to give us a bigger number to subtract from our smaller number, we get 5 and 18/12 minus 2 and 8/12. When I do that, now I can subtract 5 minus 2 to give me 3 and 18 minus 8 to give me 10. So remember, this sheet right here will be on your Google Classroom to look at while you are doing your practice problems. You have 5 of them today. When you get those 5 problems that you have to do, you will have your Google form to fill out and make sure you take your time to give us those answers. Remember, any questions, call or email. Use your resources. We talk about this. The steps are here. There are examples here. So you need to use your resources before you make a call. Good luck.